Hello everybody and welcome back to the Unnamed Server. I am Angry Canine and we are back after a bit of a hiatus there. Took some time off, didn't make any videos, didn't spend a whole lot of time in the game. Just been having kind of a rough time at work. I do work in the airline industry, and when the weather goes bad, we have bad days at work, and we've been dealing with some snow, quite a bit of snow and bitter cold temperatures lately. So that's been really wearing me out, and I haven't really had much time or desire to play Minecraft. Kind of a creative block, not really much going on in my head as far as the game is concerned, but do have a couple of projects going on that we've been working on, so hopefully I'm going to get out of that slump that I've been in and get back in the swing of things here. As you can see, right now we are working on a guardian farm. We took this guardian farm down 2 days ago, and myself and several other people, and we all worked on draining all the water out and got all that done, and now I'm going to dismantle the water monument there. Obviously this is going to be the same type of farm that I built in the last season of the Unnamed Server, so there's really not a whole lot of point in going into too much detail about it, but at this point I do need to dismantle that server there, or dismantle the the water monument there. I've been working on computers this couple of days here and just kind of messing around with some stuff in my old PC, so I have computers, dismantling computers on the brain. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to take down this whole water monument, and I'm going to have all these blocks and everything for people to use as they see fit. And of course I'm going to build the spawning chambers and everything just like before. And did I just knock out a block of sand over there? Or was that already out? There was a ladder there. Apparently there is not anymore. Okay, so I've got that problem taken care of there. Put the ladder back. Now, I don't know why that sand block was knocked out, like I said. I don't really understand that, but all the ladders that were there came off, I guess, when the sand shifted. Really weird, really weird. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be tearing this thing down. And there is another project that I'm working on, and it's really far away. Way out in the desert somewhere, off in that direction, I believe. And I'm going to see if I can grab one of these boats. Well, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and make one. Since I got a little bit of extra wood over here, we'll just go ahead and make a boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should be all I need. But anyway, since I'm making a guardian farm over here, obviously we are going to need ink sacs for dark prismarine. So I am going to be working on a squid farm way out here in the desert, and I'm going to head out that way. I want to kind of take a look at it. Now, this is going to be the same squid farm that Doc M and JL just put a video out on not too long ago, and the link to that video is in the description of this one. So I think I made mine a little bit bigger than what they did, though. So we're going to get all kinds of ink sacs. Now, what I'm going to do with the guardian farm over there is it's going to be pretty much the same as it was in the last season. But the difference is I'm not going to have the water at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and use the mine carts under half slabs, and that'll be the collection system for the drops. That should help increase the efficiency. Last season I was going to do that, but I really didn't have enough gold, so I really couldn't do that. And what is this over here? I'm going to go ahead and crash this boat. Ah, crunch. It probably broke anyway when I jumped out of it. So what is this? I'm curious. A couple of beds floating around. Desert bed. Random bed in the middle of nowhere. Interesting, interesting. So anyway, there's some sticks. Not really sure what that is. But yeah, I'm going to build a squid farm. And I've got a spot picked out in the desert somewhere over in this direction. I believe should be kind of west, northwest. That's east. West, 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 southwest, northwest. Oh, not in the lava. Another random. Yeah, so we've been mining some sand over here. But over in that direction there, so I'm going to go ahead and get that boat. I didn't realize that I wasn't far enough away. I don't know why I went ahead and crashed that boat. So I'm going to go back over here and steal the boat I saw in this chest. I'll just make one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make one. When in doubt, make one. And I am sorry about the F3. I just realized that was even on. I don't even know why I had it on. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to work on a squid farm. The link to the squid farm that I'm going to build is in the description of this video. It's the one made by JL and Doc not too long ago. And I think I made mine bigger than what they did. I don't really remember the dimensions of theirs, but mine's actually a lot bigger. And I did build this in a creative version of the world here, so it actually works really well. And I need to make sure I'm going the right way. That is northwest, so I need to go this way. So I'm going to have to fight some mobs. I'm going to head on over there, and I'll be back when I get there. I want to get started on it, so I'm going to go ahead and mark out the perimeter. And I think I'm doing 16 by 16, so we'll get started on that. I've got a lot of digging to do as well, so we'll talk about it when I get there. Okay, and we are out here in the location of the future squid farm here, and I've got this marker here. Travel southeast to go to spawn, and that is in that direction. There's a village over there. There's another smaller one on beyond that, and I'm going to build a squid farm right here. And the reason why I chose this location is because it is in the middle of the desert. In the middle of the desert, obviously. I wish I could talk. It's in the middle of the desert, kind of landlocked, very landlocked actually, as far away from all the big water sources that I could get. I do have some major water areas here, right there, and right there that I need to fill in. So what I'm going to do is a lot of this sand around here, these little hills, I'm going to dig all that out and fill all that water in, and then I'm going to mark out a perimeter here. So I want to go ahead and work on that, and I want to get all this water taken care of first, and get the land prepped up a little bit. And I'm going to have to go find some wood. I think there's some trees over there, make a couple of chests and stuff, and I'm going to need to get some cobblestone. So I'll probably be able to get plenty of that once I mark the area out here. So we'll be pretty good with that. Should have everything I need just by digging it out of the ground. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get working on filling in all these water spots here and get rid of all this water. That way guys can't spawn just like that one did. And that will pretty much eliminate all the spawning area. Oh, pretty darn close to 128 blocks in all directions. So I'm going to do that. And when I come back, we'll get started working on the actual farm itself. Alright, I actually have that taken care of. Got the water in the immediate vicinity here knocked out, and I've also started the squid farm itself. Now I've marked out an area here that is 19 by 19, actually 21 by 21. Around the inside area here is 19 by 19, and that is how big mine has to be, or at least how big mine is. Now the original size I think was only 8 by 8, or maybe 16 by 16, not really sure. It was quite a bit smaller than this, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have spawning cells, which are basically going to be water source blocks, spread out across this thing evenly. I'm going to have one block every other block where these torches are going to go, and they are going to fall down to, I think, about level 30 maybe. I think that's where they go. They might not go that far down, but that's how I'm going to spread that out, and I'm going to do this all the way across in multiple rows. And I'm not going to have enough torches to do all of this, but that's how the spawning chambers are going to be laid out. One water source block, and it's going to fall down, and it's going to terminate at another water source block, and it's just going to kind of float in the air. And the way I'm going to have to do that is I'm going to have to go get some ice, which is in the cold biome, which I think actually isn't too far away. I think over in that direction, I think I can get some ice over there. But I need to get some ice, and then I'll place an ice block at the bottom of the squid farm, and then I'll let the water from the top source block flow down to the ice block, and then I'll put a torch next to the ice block to let it melt. There is a thing in the game where if a ice block melts, it won't actually start to flow. It won't get that block update. It won't update the block. It'll just turn to water, and it'll stay there, and as long as it's not updated, the water won't flow. So the water falling from the source blocks up here will stop down there, and then at that point I'll be able to take the blocks around the ice block, the melted ice, away, and that won't update the blocks. So we'll have water streams that just kind of hang in the air and then just kind of stop right there. And then the squid will spawn in the water stream. They only need a 1x1 block to spawn. They'll spawn up there, and eventually they'll fall out, and they'll fall down to the bottom to their death, where I will have the half slabs on the floor, and then the minecart, the hopper minecart running underneath the floor, and that will take all of the drops over to a collection area where it will unload the hopper minecart, and those drops will eventually work their way up an item elevator to a storage area I'm going to have off to the side over here. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it over there or if I want to do it over here somewhere. I need to keep it 24 blocks away from the spawning area, so at least back in this area probably is where I'll do it. And then I'll just have water streams underground that carry the drops over to the elevator. Of course, I say drops when all we get are ink sacks. So they carry the ink sacks over to the elevator, and they'll come up here to storage chests. And I swear I keep hearing something walking around besides me. I'm always afraid a creeper's going to sneak up on me and blow me up. But yeah, anyway, so I'm going to have to dig this down pretty far. Obviously, squid do not spawn between or above level 63, I believe it is, or below level 40. So right now I'm at level 63. So I'll dig this down to level 40 and probably actually dig it down below that as well, maybe to level 30. And maybe even lower than that. I don't know. I'll have to look again and see how far down it's got to go. I think it goes down to level 30, but it might be lower than that. And then I'll start working on the floor and everything. So I'm going to have to dig this out. I need to go back to my base, which is far, far away, and pick up a couple of things. I need to get another pickaxe, even though I've got a good one here. I need to pick up another shovel, though. Mine's just about dead. And I'm going to need some more food and a few other things. And also my helmet's almost dead. I'm going to see if I can't repair that. I've only got 3 diamonds left. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not, but I need to get unbreaking for that. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and work on that. I'm going to go head on back over there. I'm also going to try to get a portal set up so I don't have to keep traveling overland. It is pretty far away. We're at negative 1529, negative 1559, and my base is very close to 00, about 20 blocks away. So as you can see, I got quite a trip to go, and I'm going to go ahead and wait for the sun to set and then sleep to get daylight. Right now I'm the only one on the server, so as long as nobody shows up, I'll sleep to get daylight, and that way I'll have pretty much a full day to travel all the way back. And then I'll do the math to figure out where I need to put the portal. I'm probably going to try to set a portal up over here somewhere as well. I need to get some obsidian. I don't have any, so I'll have to find some place to mine some. So yeah, I'm going to work on that, and when I come back I should have all this dug out, and I should have that portal set up and all the supplies I need for this squid farm, which I'm going to call the Inkwell. Wow, so alright guys, here we are, and it is several days later since I recorded that last segment. And I am nowhere near the squid farm that we were working on. Actually, right now, I am over near the spawn island. Or not the spawn island, actually, but the big island. Spawn island's in that direction. This is the big island, the island to the north, as I was calling it. And this is where the Guardian farm is. And I've spent pretty much all of my time over this whole weekend, this past weekend, and several days before that, working on this. Now, Mrs. K had actually dismantled the water monument, the ocean monument down there for me. Took that out, and I went ahead and dug out everything else and worked on the spawn chambers here. And I just realized that I have the game sound set to the wrong speaker. So bear with me just a second. F3 and S. If this doesn't crash everything, that should have changed my game sounds over. And I can still hear them in the wrong place. I'm over here at the Guardian farm, and I've been working on the spawn chambers. I've got all of them done and got them all activated. I'm going to go ahead and head down here real quick, and you can see these guys are spawning pretty good. Now, if you follow me for any amount of time and you saw that I built this in the last season, it's like one of my last videos on the last season there. I built the Guardian farm over there, essentially the same thing. And I had some great spawn rates, and we're getting some pretty good spawn rates here too. So there's probably a bunch of drops down there. Really, all I got to do here is put in the collection system. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to put several minecart tracks going across either that way or this way. I'm not really sure, whichever way they're going to go. And I'm going to have hopper minecarts on them. I'm going to have half slabs over top of them, so they're just going to run back and forth. And all the drops from these guys falling and dying on the half slabs will just kind of hang out on top of the half slabs until one of the hopper mine carts come under it and pick it up. And I'm going to have several of them. The idea is to have several of them all the way across. Now, I thought about setting this up as very similar to what Asuma did in the last season of Hermitcraft when he built Guardfall. If you are a fan of Asuma, you know what I'm talking about. And he set his up to do either be a collection system, just like this. Also, he had some water so that he could funnel these guys into an XP area. I thought about doing that, but it's really not necessary. Right now, we do have the gold farm, and it's pretty good for XP. Eventually, we're going to get into the end and have an Enderman farm. So, yeah, we're not really going to need another XP farm here. But anyway, I'm going to head on over to where we're supposed to be. Now, I've got the entire squid farm dug out. I've got it set up and ready to go. All I got to do is put in the water and, of course, set up that collection system. I'm going to use the same kind of collection system, and I don't know why I didn't just grab a boat and sail back. But anyway, I'm going to use the same kind of collection system over there. The hopper mine carts on rails running back and forth. That one I'm probably just going to do one, maybe two hopper mine carts instead of just having a whole bunch of them. Now over there I'm going to have, I think, I'm going to need like 58 running back and forth. So I'm going to need a heck of a lot of rails. I don't know if I've got enough iron to do it. I've got, I think, 3 stacks of iron blocks now. Maybe 4 stacks of iron blocks. I'm not sure. But that might be enough to do the rails. And I've got a ton of gold from the gold farm. So I should have plenty enough to do the powered rails. Burn, you rotten flesh son of a... Yeah, anyway. I came over here and came through the portal and it was night. And there was a zombie hanging out over here and I hit him. And next thing I know, I was just surrounded by zombies. They just came from everywhere. And one of them was invisible. There's a bug in the game, 1.81, that makes mobs invisible for some reason. It was a chicken jockey. I was taking damage, couldn't find him. And logged out, logged back in. And there he was, right in my face. Don't you blow up, you stupid creeper. Hi, witch! Over here at the squid farm. And got it all nice and dug out and ready to go. And all I got to do really is just put the water in place and put the collection area in place. I've got this glass up here. I'm going to have glass up here. And all of these holes in the glass are going to be water source blocks. And they're going to flow down. And down in those holes there, underneath them, I'm going to put ice blocks. And what is that down there? Is there a spider down there? I'm going to put ice blocks down there. And this is, like I said before, this is the farm design that JL and Doc M put out not too long ago. And the link to that is in the description. I'm going to go down here and get me a piece of string. A bubbly farty spider. What's up? Little bit of string, little bit of spider eye. Never have too much string, right? So the reason why I got this dirt here, this dirt's not going to stay. I'm going to have to put like a couple of blocks here. And I'm going to put ice blocks under all these holes here. All the way across, all the way down. Each hole. And then when I get that done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I've got some sea lanterns, and I'm going to put those like right in there, kind of adjacent, but not directly beside each of those ice blocks. And that light block is going to cause the ice to melt, but it won't update the block, so the ice is just going to stay a source block. It's not going to flow down. And then all that water up there will be flowing down, and it will actually terminate right here. Then I'll be able to take all the stone out. And then squid will spawn in the water and just drop down here. Once I take all the dirt out, they'll be able to fall down here into this big deep area down here into this hole. And I'm going to do the same kind of collection system over here. Going to have the rail running back and forth, both sides. Still not sure if I'm just going to do one minecart running around or if I'm going to do 2. I don't want to do it where I have one on each block like I'm going to do on the Guardian farm. Now, there is a change coming at 1.9, and I don't know how that's going to affect this squid farm. Actually, it may not even be 1.9. It might be 1.8.2, which I think was just recently released. And it says something about squid no longer spawn at Y63. They spawn below sea level. And right now we are at Y63, which is the world's sea level. So this water block here will be like Y63. So I guess they're not actually going to spawn at Y63, but they'll spawn in water underneath that. At least I'm hoping that's it. Now, I'm not planning on updating the server here to 1.8. Actually, it's 1.8.3 now. I'm not going to update the server until Optifine is updated for 1.8.3. Just because I don't want to lose my colorful creepers and my zoom feature. I really like that. I wish that was part of vanilla. I don't know why they don't just go ahead and integrate Optifine right into the code. But, well, I guess maybe there's legal or money reasons why they don't do that. Anyway, I've got some ice blocks over here, I think. Yeah, there they are. And I'm going to need a whole lot of water buckets, which I got those right there. And I need some dirt. I don't know if I have any over here. And no, I don't. Oh, wow. That's not good. Well, I guess I could just use stone. And I think that's all I'm going to need for right now. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to run down here. And we will put some of this in place. Let me drop down in here. Ooh, right through the hole. Ooh, that's got to hurt. Let me eat too. Eating fish. Fish. Smells like fish. Tastes like fish. Maybe it is fish. Anyway, so my idea here is I'm going to have that there and ice block, just like that. And I'm going to do this all the way across. And I was originally going to use dirt here, but I seem to have forgotten to bring any with me. So I'm going to have to use stone. And that's going to be kind of a pain in the neck, because I'm just going to be wasting my pickaxe. But it's alright, because if you look at my shovel, you can see it's almost... Thought I heard something walking around. You can see it's almost gone. So, yeah. I could probably do it. We'll just do it this way. There are easier ways to do it. Now, I'm going to have to break all these stone blocks out before I do anything else. Before I put the oh, I missed one. Before I put the sea lanterns here. Otherwise, that'll update, and then it'll just make a big mess. That was a pain in the butt. I got all that in place, though. Got the water up there, and I've got the ice blocks in place. And I moved this dirt down a little bit. I was a little bit worried because it was up a little bit higher than this, and there wasn't really much room in there. So I moved it down one block, and I had a creeper spawn in here. Well, actually, I had 4 creepers spawn in here at one point in time when I was topside, and I came down here, and of course one of them blew up, knocked most of the ice out of the way and the dirt and everything. Had to go get some more dirt and ice, but I got it taken care of, moved the glass, and I was really kind of scared about putting these torches in here because I was afraid it was going to, you know, the light was going to cause the ice to melt, but it didn't, fortunately, so we're doing pretty good. Now, the way this looks is I've got the water coming down. Remember those holes in the glass up there? Well, the water's coming down, and the stone was here to keep the water in place. And I actually have half slabs on top of this now, and I put some polished diorite, polished andesite in the corners here. I'm not really going to do a whole heck of a lot aesthetically with this place. I'm not really too worried about what it looks like down inside here. I did change all these walls to stone, just smooth stone. I'm going to have the collection system down here, so I'm not really going to worry too much about decorating this down here. The AFK area is going to be up top by the portal. I'm going to have to build some kind of building around the portal to make it a safe place to AFK. And so that's the only thing I'm really going to worry about. Other than that, when you're running across the desert here, if you run across this thing, all you're going to see is just a square hole in the ground with glass on top and a couple of half slabs. Just like this. I did move the chest and everything back over there around the portal, but just didn't want this over here. It's okay if you AFK from this area, then squid will spawn in pretty much all of that water. Once you go past the column here, you're less than 24 blocks away, so they're not going to spawn on the top here, just down lower. And actually, just from working on it, I've already acquired several stacks of ink sacks, and there might even be a few more down there now since I ran back. I don't know, it takes a minute or two before they really start spawning once you get outside of range. And do I see one? No, I don't. Okay, so yeah, so they seem to spawn pretty well here. So anyway, what I was saying was about the ice blocks. Now that I have these in place, I'm going to take this sea lantern, right, and I'm going to put it right in there, in the middle. And with it being so close, that will cause these ice blocks to melt, and they'll turn into water source blocks. And then I can come along and I can break the sea lantern back out, And I can also break out the stone blocks around it, and that will not cause these blocks to update, so the water will not start flowing. They will stay a water source block. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't like this style in this farm. I don't like this idea of relying on blocks to not update, but it seems to work, and we all know that water sometimes does kind of act funny in the real world, or at least in the world of Minecraft. You might be running alongside a river or a lake or something, and you'll see a cave that's generated, and the water will just come to a stop at a wall, and as long as you don't update it, it'll just stay there. So that's the concept here. So I'll place that right there, and probably have to wait a minute or two for that to melt. And I think I can do this every other one. I'm not really sure. And hopefully one of these will melt pretty quick. And I'm going to go ahead and just plop a few of these in here there, just like that. Now you see how that water just kind of hangs out right there. And actually, I guess I don't have to do that many. I don't know how far I have to go. Now, see this all doing that. Now, as long as I don't update these blocks around it, like as long as I don't accidentally put a block in between those two or something like that, I should be able to break all this out of there and not update it, and this water won't flow. And I don't really know how far this goes. I put this one here, so I don't have to do every other one, I guess. I don't really know what the range is on these things. So that's essentially what I got to do, is I got to wait for all this ice to melt and turn into water source blocks. And I really want this one here to melt so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. How I can break things out and not have to worry about it. So let me go ahead and just pop down a couple more here. And again, I probably don't have to do this many, but it might help. So just throw some in there. And I probably shouldn't do all of these right away. I probably should wait a little bit. Just do them bit by bit, because I'll tell you what's going to happen is I'm going to end up doing something that will cause one of these blocks to update. And when one of these blocks update, they will all update. And I'll have a flood on my hands. Okay, now you see these blocks here. And if I do get a flood, I have to start all over again, which means I'll have to go get more ice. And we don't have an ice farm yet, so that's kind of a pain in the butt. So anyway, here we got water source blocks all the way around. Now I should be able to break this out, this sea lantern. And it should not update the blocks. And you see they did not update. And I should be able to break these out as well. And then this water is just going to kind of hang out right here. And since these stone blocks are not directly beside the water blocks, there shouldn't be any problem with these things. So again, I have to be kind of careful here to make absolutely certain that I do not update these water blocks, because if I do, once I update one, they will all update, and this will flood this entire area, and I will have to start all over again, and I will be one pissed puppy for sure. So let me go ahead and place a couple more in here, and that I think might be enough to do it. I don't really know. I think I can probably go ahead. Well, there's still a couple over there. Once these two melt, we'll be good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording here for just a little bit, and I'm going to wait for all of these to melt and update to water, turn into water blocks. And I will come back. And I'm not going to work on the collection system in this episode. I am going to do that off camera, and we'll take a look at it later. I'm running out of time for this episode. Already running a little bit longer, I think, than I had planned on it. I say that, and then when I edit the video, I ended up being short footage. I don't think I'm going to have that problem this time. And these are actually just about done anyway. So yeah, I don't want to mess with them too much here. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for these to finish up, and then once they're done, I'll come back. I'm going to go ahead and try to get the stone out of here, as well as these sea lanterns, get all that done off camera. And assuming I don't have any problems here, I'll take the dirt out and we'll be ready to go with this thing. And then I'll be able to drop to the bottom and we'll see what kind of spawn rates we get. So I will be right back. And I got it done. Working on the dirt. Just got a little bit of dirt left. Not sure how I'm going to get over there. Dag nabbit. But the water's in place. Let me get some more dirt. I've got a little bit left to clear out. My shovel broke and I didn't get it all. So, of course, I did it on the side that's opposite of the ladder. I started on the side where the ladder was and took all the dirt out. And over there, I didn't get it all. But anyway, you can see the water just kind of hanging down into midair. I've got the stone out of there. Didn't have any problems. Hallelujah. Of course, I still got to get this dirt out of here. Going to have to get the ladder out of there eventually. And hopefully that is not going to screw anything up. Fortunately, though, the rest of the work I got to do once I get that dirt out is down here. So, barring any random block updates, I shouldn't have any problems. Let me go ahead and pillar up and get this dirt, the rest of it, cleared out. And then I'm going to hang out at the bottom. Hopefully some of those guys will start spawning pretty soon. And we'll be able to get an idea how the spawn rates are on this thing. Shouldn't be too bad since we are in the middle of a desert. Pretty much far away from all water sources. At least 128 blocks in all directions as far as I can tell. I filled in a couple of big water areas that were close by. So we'll see. Just want to get down here and pick up the rest of this dirt. And like I said, for the collection system, I'm going to use hopper mine carts. One or two, I'm not sure, maybe one. Kind of traveling back and forth here, zigzagging all the way over here, and picking up everything as it goes. I'm going to have half slabs over here, and the hopper minecart's going to be under the half slabs, and it will pick up any of the ink sacks on top just right through it. And I'll have an unload station over here somewhere and an item elevator to take it up to the area. I'm going to build a little building over by the portal where you can come in and AFK and just hang out. We'll let all the squiddies spawn and drop down here and leave all kinds of ink sacks. Now, I don't see any of these guys spawning right now. It's got me a little worried. Not really sure why they're not spawning. They were spawning pretty good the other day. And as far as I know, the server is on hard, so I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm over here. Probably go out and walk away a little bit, and it'll probably work out. There's one thing I want to do real quick before I go back up there, and that is take a screenshot of that, if I can find a good spot to do it. How about right there? Pointed right at that. Of course, I'm going to turn that off. See if I can aim this just right. Which way do I want to do? I want to do it that way? I want to do it that way, don't I? Yeah. Line it up just right here. Just trying to eyeball it here. That's about as good as this going to get. And maybe I might take another one here. Let me move down a little bit. Yeah, that'll work out. And, well, let me actually move over just a little more. Try to get that center block lined up perfectly. And that's close enough. F2, screenshot. And that will probably be the thumbnail for this video. And that also brings this video to a close. Like I said, I'm going to do the collection system off camera. I missed some andesite there. I'm going to clear that out of there. And I want to do all that. I'll do all that off camera. And next time we'll come around and take a look at it and see how that goes. Also going to be working on the Guardian farm in the meantime as well. Again, sorry it's been a while since I put out a video. Winter time is a rough time at work. I do work in the air cargo industry, and we've had a lot of snow over the last week or two. Been rough, been cold, been just worn out coming home, not really wanting to do anything except sleep. So that's a lot of what I've been doing. Of course, I've been working on stuff off camera. Been spending some time on the server, not as much as I'd like to. But hopefully that's going to change now as we start moving into the springtime. Also, just want to say thanks to everybody for sticking around and showing me some support. I really do appreciate it. You all are awesome. Really love you to death, and hopefully you're going to keep watching my videos. Keep hitting likes on those videos. Bring your friends, bring your family, have them all subscribe to my channel, and help me get, hopefully, to 500 subscribers within the next couple of months. That would be awesome. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Sure do appreciate it. My name is Angry K9, and I will see you next time.